So today we'll be looking at a few different stories. We'll be checking out how Alexa Bliss recently broke character, how the protests and police riots had an impact on Smackdown, and an update to WWE banning a specific move. Starting off with Alexa Bliss, Alexa's character has really changed a lot over the past year or so. Alexa used to be this stuck-up heel that believed she was better than everyone. Alexa even explained in multiple interviews that she loved her character so much because it gave her a chance to play someone completely different than who she actually is in real life. Real-life Alexa Bliss is nowhere even close to her heel persona. Heel Alexa Bliss is just filled with so much rage and revenge, while the real Alexa just spends her time being the biggest Disney fan out there and going to Disney World as much as she can. So as you can see, there's two completely different sides of Alexa Bliss. However, since turning babyface, Alexa Bliss has a little bit more freedom on television to be herself and add some of her real personality to her character. So now we see Alexa being a bit more goofy on camera and having more fun with Nikki Cross. But what Alexa didn't see coming was a situation on SmackDown that made her break character. The Moment of Bliss segment was up next, so the camera was filming Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross getting ready backstage. The viewers at home can see that Big E and Kofi were silently working their way down the hall to Alexa and Nikki, but Alexa and Nikki had no clue they were coming up from behind. Big E goes to scare Alexa Bliss and actually broke her out of character because she legitimately had no clue he was behind her. So if you thought they rehearsed that clip, then it looks like you're wrong. Big E legitimately scared Alexa Bliss. Alexa took to Twitter to explain what happened. Fun fact, I broke because Big E actually scared me. So it was really an unscripted moment and a big scare for Alexa Bliss. This is a great time to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A large amount of our viewers are not even subscribed to the channel. So take a second to click that subscribe button if you enjoy the videos. Let's get back into it. Next up, we have a big story on how the recent protests and riots had a strange impact on WWE Smackdown. According to Showbuzz Daily, Smackdown averaged 2.15 million viewers during the May 31st broadcast, which was up from the previous week's episode, which only had 2.044 million in. SmackDown was tied for second on the night among the 18 to 49-year-old demographic with a 0.55 rating. So to go from 2.0 million to 2.15 million may not seem like the biggest jump, but for SmackDown's ratings, that's considered an amazing spike in ratings. But what changed this week? What made the SmackDown ratings spike so much? When the ratings first came out, reports said that the spike in ratings must have been because of the opening segment with Jeff Hardy's arrest. Jeff Hardy's arrest was something new and different. So was that the reason that so many fans tuned into the show? Did that Jeff Hardy storyline pull in viewers? That's what everyone thought at first, but it's looking like the ratings were up for a reason that's completely unrelated to WWE. As you likely heard about by now, there are currently a lot of protests and riots going on across the country. That Friday night of May 31st, 2020 was one of the biggest nights for the riots and protests, and it just took over the country. It was #1 trending on Twitter, and there was a lot of emergency broadcasts about the protests and riots. It's being reported that SmackDown wasn't even aired this week in a few states because their local Fox station was on the scene live to cover the protests and riots in their area. Here's where the tricky part comes in. So those Fox stations had their breaking news coverage going on during the time slot for SmackDown. So these extra viewers that were coming in to see the breaking news coverage actually added viewership to SmackDown's rating. All of those ratings that came in for the news broadcast was actually accounted to SmackDown since it was in their time slot. So that's where the confusion comes into play when we look at the spike in ratings. Was it truly a spike in SmackDown ratings, or did the local news ratings really account towards SmackDown? It's believed right now that the spike was due to local news coverage, so we'll have to see how SmackDown performs in the coming weeks without any breaking news coverage partially helping them out. Our last story is an update regarding the newly banned move in the WWE. It was reported earlier in the week that WWE has fully banned the move of throwing your opponent into the turnbuckle. The reason for the ban is reportedly due to the events of the Nia Jax vs Kairi Sane match. Most fans know what happened in this match, and we covered this story before, but basically there was a lot of miscommunication between Nia Jax and Kairi during that matchup. If you go back to that match, you can hear Kairi say multiple times to Nia that she wasn't set, meaning that she wasn't prepared for the next move in the match. It looks like Nia wasn't aware of Kairi's warning and did the turnbuckle move anyway, which resulted in a horrible close call for Kairi Sane. Kairi is now reportedly dealing with an injury, and this pushed WWE to ban the move. The move does have a history of injuring superstars. Seth Rollins had used the same turnbuckle move as a signature move over the years, but everyone remembers what happened in 2015. During a 2015 match with Sting, Seth Rollins threw Sting into the turnbuckle, which really messed Sting's neck up, and Sting hasn't wrestled a match since that night several years ago. The same move also injured Finn 1 year later in 2016. Finn's Universal title reign was cut short after he was injured from the same turnbuckle move. Seth Rollins received a lot of heat from fans at the time for the usage of the move, and even though he didn't use it much after the injuries, it still wasn't fully banned. There was a point in time that WWE banned Seth Rollins' curb stomp because they thought it was a bit dangerous, but they never stopped this turnbuckle move. Here we are all these years later, and the move has finally been banned. Shane Helms, who also appeared in WWE as the Hurricane, recently commented on the ban and seemed to be against it. He doesn't find those moves to be dangerous. It's just all about the execution of the move to him. He had this to say on Twitter in response to the report. "I did the vertebreaker, arguably the most dangerous move in the business, and never hurt anyone. It's not the move, it's the execution." So that's another way of looking at it. Is it really a scary move, or is it just poor execution from the superstars using the move? I guess that's up for debate. But the move is now gone and likely won't be seen again for a long time. There's still no official and confirmed word on why the move was banned, but the Nia Jax and Kairi Sane situation seems to make the most sense. That match took place recently and resulted in Kairi being injured from the turnbuckle move, so this most definitely looks like a direct response by WWE to the outcome of that matchup. You could still place your opponent onto the turnbuckle, but when it comes to picking them up and throwing them into the corner, that is now strictly off limits. Some fans have mixed feelings about the ban, but it is the safe and right call by WWE. This move ended Sting's WWE career that was just starting to pick up pace. It ended Finn's first ever Universal title reign before it could even start, and now it injured Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane has had it pretty rough over the last few months. Remember in late 2019, Kairi was actually concussed in the middle of the main event match and was completely out of it. Charlotte wasn't aware that Kairi was concussed and continued to perform moves on her, which obviously didn't make the situation any better. It was Becky Lynch who was able to communicate with Kairi in the middle of the match and realized she was hurt. There was even that viral moment that was recorded by fans where Becky rolled Kairi under the ring to protect her from taking on any more harm. Kairi missed a handful of weeks after that, and WWE has been very careful with her because if she gets concussed again, it will be a big deal. Getting multiple concussions within a few months is really dangerous for any competitor in any sport. Multiple concussions in a short time span is also the reason that WWE was real close to forcing Alexa Bliss into retirement at the age of 26, so everyone is really careful when it comes to that. But with this move now being banned, hopefully everyone will just be better protected in the future from this move. What are your thoughts on today's stories of Alexa Bliss breaking character, how the riots had an impact on Smackdown, and Nia Jax's move being banned? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.